Welcome back to another edition of Striking 'em Sports Chat with Bowl for Food. I want to talk about two things. This is probably going to be about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit less, but I want to talk about two things that's on my mind about sports. There's more, but these two things are big right now. One is the Masters. I have a lot to say about that. More for how the course played than how dominant Dustin Johnson was. Second thing is the NFL headed into week 11. And then my top 5, top 6 rookie of the years right now, there's going to be some left off. There's going to be some crazy picks. So let's jump right back into it. Let's do this. Alright, so my take on the Masters. Here's what I feel. I feel like the Masters wasn't as hard as it should have been. It's a major. I really think that with it being a major, it should have been harder. Yes, it rained Thursday. It delayed everything 3 hours, and the greens played soft on Thursday. But the second rough wasn't like it normally was. Like they were talking about, the balls that usually hit off the back of the green and roll, they didn't roll. They stopped there. The roughs were cut. Everything was like trimmed up, ready to go, like, just another day on a championship course. No major here. I felt very non-in-tuned after Saturday. And here's why. My take on it. I watched Thursday. I watched Friday. I watched the rest of the holes on Saturday morning. And then it got to the weekend and, okay, they went off on the front. They went off on the back. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I think everything was fine. But it wasn't hard. And yes, Dustin Johnson won at minus 20. So that's minus 5 per round. And I watched Tiger. I think he won a stretch of 7, 8 pars in a row, something like that on Saturday. He just went par to start his round, and that's what I want to see. But it wasn't like people were making shots on Thursday and Friday that they're like, you wouldn't have seen this in April. Well, why are we seeing it now? Was it because it was in November and there was rain on Thursday? Was it because, there was no spectators, or as they call them, patriots? I don't know. But I just wasn't glued in as a sports fan and as a golf fan to my TV on Saturday and Sunday. And I don't know if it was because it just didn't make me want to see it or watch it, or because it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. One, because it's a major. It just didn't draw my attention to watch. Now, I watched his final putt on 18 to win, and they were talking about that's the highest scoring Masters ever, and I'm like, no, why? It's a major. Make it hard. Like, I thought the pin spots were a little bit easier this year because it was in November. I really feel like the PGA should have done a better job. And not Augusta. I think that course looked phenomenal to be in November. Like they said, it's usually shut down, getting redone. So it looked phenomenal, especially on Thursday when it rained. Like, oh my gosh, they cleaned that up in a heartbeat. And then you had to change pin placements like after people were done. Like, you had to have. It was a fantastic job. A lot of credit. I just thought it would be harder being a major, the last major season, and the end of golf. Point blank. So, with that being out the way, let's talk some NFL. Man, I tell you what, I'm going to start off by saying this. The NFC East is plain trashola. Trashola. And it's bad to say, but I still think the Dallas Cowboys can win the division. I mean, it's going to take a lot, but I think they can win the division. So we're going to jump into it, and I'm going to flip over here, and we're going to talk about the AFC first. All right, so the top 7 teams right now are the Steelers, Chiefs, Bills, Colts, Raiders, Dolphins, Ravens. On the bubble are the Titans and Browns, and that's it, truthfully, because New England's not making it. We already know. So let's just go 1 through 9 there. The Steelers look like a fantastic team right now. They're all cylinders. Their defense is top 3 defenses in the league. And I'll tell you why I say top 3 and not the best defense in the league. The Chiefs, their defense is top 15, but nothing to disrespect, but nothing to respect, truthfully. But they got Patrick Mahomes, so that offense is 100% the best. Buffalo, Josh Allen, that defense, it's all coming together, and they still got 6 more weeks to improve, 7 more weeks to improve. The Colts, Phillip Rivers is always there, but they have the number 1 defense in the league. And boy, they don't have big names. They're doing it with not so big names. And that's what makes it so good. They're doing it with people you have to look up. Oh, this guy. Oh, that guy. Oh, okay. Yes, they got a couple studs, but they're doing it as a team ball. Their offense is good, and they're going to get healthier because the wide receivers are coming back. Oakland. Man, I tell you what, everyone doubts the Las Vegas Raiders, not Oakland. Vegas is doing a hell of a job. Their defense is playing their defense that needs to play. Their offense is really good. Josh Jacobs is a top 5 runner in the football. He really is. And then you got the Dolphins. The Dolphins and the Ravens. The Dolphins. So they switched from Ryan to Tula. And it's just like, okay, cool. We got it. We got you. You know, and he's 3 straight wins. So they're in contention. They're second behind the Bills and only 1 game out of the division. Then you got Baltimore, who, well, when you run the same plays every year, they're going to figure you out. Lamar, throw the ball deep. I mean, you got Hollywood Brown. That's all I heard. Hollywood Brown can run deep. You ain't seen it, have you? And that's where I'm getting at. You have to see him run deep. You have to change stuff up. So let's go. Green Bay. Defense is suspect. Aaron Rodgers is still a stud. Running back's good. Wide receivers, I don't know. Let's see how long Adams is out. If he's out for a long period of time, they won't be number 1. The Saints. Drew Brees is out. On a clean, I repeat, a clean hit on the quarterback. God, that shit was so clean, and they flagged him for it. I was irate. Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to take some water on this because I haven't heard a lot about Kyler Murray getting compared to Patrick Mahomes. Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes both played baseball in college, just like Russell Wilson. All 3 of them could have been drafted to play baseball. Matter of fact, I think all 3 of them were drafted to play baseball. But they chose football. More money. But Kyler Murray, I feel, is a Patrick Mahomes Jr., but that could be really, really good. But it helps when you have a veteran wide receiver in Larry Fitzgerald. And the best, I will repeat that, the best wide receiver in the National Football League and D-Hops. And it's the second best trade of the offseason. The first trade I'll talk about a little bit later. The Cardinals have a good defense led by the Honey Badger and then Patrick Peterson on the outside, which Cole Beasley put him in a spin cycle last week. But D-Hop's the best hands in football right now. The best all-out catching ability in football. The best wide receiver in football, hands down. The Eagles, they won't win this division. They're about to lose 5 straight, or they're gonna go 1-4. It's just how it is. That's how I feel it is. They got a tough schedule. Carson Wentz isn't playing Carson Wentz-esque, and I told everybody that Carson Wentz should have never been kept over Nick Foles. I mean, Nick Foles is playing trash with the Bears, but hey, I mean, is Jalen Hurts their savior? I don't know. Was Haskins the Redskins' savior? Nope. The Buccaneers, they're going to click. They're going to get together. Their defense isn't all that great, but they play the Rams this week, you know. And that's going to be, truthfully, a good game. I really ready to watch that on Monday night. And then the Seahawks, they have no defense. They're not going to make it past the first round unless Russell Wilson does something spectacular, which he can because he's that good. But their defense is awful. Dreadly awful. But I'm going to go... What I really want to talk about, truthfully, is the Bills. I want to talk about a little bit for the Bills, and then I'm going to give you 2 sleeper teams in both AFC and NFC. The Bills traded for the league leading wide receiver right now, which is Stephon Diggs. That trade was talked about, but it was only talked about for like 2 days. Nobody really, went back and talked about it. And I think, and I've said this multiple times, I think that was the best trade in the offseason. Stephon Diggs had Adam Thielen in Minnesota. He had Kirk Cousins. Okay, quarterback. He had Dalvin Cook. Well, he got injured last year, but still he had Dalvin Cook. You have a good offense. But he went to Buffalo, which Josh Allen got an arm. Who's their running back? Running back by committee, right? I mean, that's what you're doing, right? Running back by committee. So what do? Josh Allen's running the ball. Josh Allen's handing the ball off. Josh Allen is throwing the ball all over the field. John Brown, if healthy, when healthy, is catching the ball. But Stephon Diggs is showing everyone why he is, 1, a number 1 receiver, and 2, one of the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL. Yes, I said it. Top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, Stephon Diggs. He leading the league in receiving yards right now. See if I can pull that up. Leading the league in receiving yards right now. Bam. Right here. Stephon Diggs. And I wish I could zoom in. Stephon Diggs has 906 yards. Alvin Kamara's there. D-Hops has 861. Let's go by yards. He's also leading the league in receptions with 73. Unbelievable. Hops, DK, Terry McLaurin, which a Redskin, holy crap, they've went through 3 quarterbacks. He's having a great season, and I told everyone he would. Justin Jeffries, nice little rookie. So, he's what, 15th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, Stephon Diggs, to me, was the overlooked trade in the offseason that didn't get talked about much, but is paying dividends for the Buffalo Bills. So, I just think that if you really watch these teams every week, which there's only 4 games you can watch every 5 games. Sorry, one Monday. It depends on what you have set up. As you see, I'll move this way. I have one TV there, one TV there. Yep, there. I have my PC, computer, TV, and I have a phone. So I can watch technically 4 games at once or turn Red Zone on, and I can watch really every game with Red Zone because it shows every score and play, plus the CBS and the Fox game. So, yes, I'm sorry, I watch a lot of sports. So everyone was talking about sleeper teams. I mean, my 2 sleeper teams are the Colts and the Raiders. Forget everyone else. The Colts and the Raiders. Phillip Rivers is a Brett Favre just right now. I mean, he's played in the league forever. But they got the number 1 defense, and that defense is really freaking good. Really good. Nobody talks about them, but they're sneaky good. Once the wide receivers get healthy, I think Phillip Rivers and the Chargers are going to take off a little bit more. See, who can battle them in the South? Oh, AFC South. Oh, so it's the Titans at 6-3. Colts own a tiebreaker. Okay. And the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, they got good wide receiver, good tight end, great running back, good quarterback. I've praised Derek Carr and when everyone doubted him. Just like Tony Romo. Everyone doubted Tony Romo. His stats don't lie. Derek Carr's stats don't lie. Now they have a defense because John Gruden wanted defense. He wanted some Gruden grinders. So he got them. And they're really good. Like, that defense is really good. But I want to touch on one person because I feel like he's very underappreciated. Mr. Jeff Heath, you'll never see this. But I want to say that all those Cowboy fans that talk trash about you when you were with the Dallas Cowboys should apologize. You, my friend, will always be somebody I talk about. You were a great ball player. You played special teams. You played safety. You were all over the field. And you are balling in Vegas right now. Balling. Trust me when I say I appreciated you with the Cowboys, and I'm still watching you ball out in Vegas. Keep it up. So everyone, there's no really sleeper teams in the NFC, right? I mean, the Packers lose to the Colts this weekend. I'm gonna gamble on that. The Falcons cover this weekend. I'm gonna gamble on that. I think the Cardinals win tonight. I just do. I just feel like they can. Their team's good. And Seattle's defense sucks. Trash. The Eagles are trash. The NFC East is trash. The Giants Cowboys win it. I just think so. If the Cowboys have if Andy Dalton plays anywhere near decent football and our offensive line holds up and the defense plays like it has for the past 2.5, 3 games, we win the East. But I think the Giants could win the East. Their defense isn't good. Their offense really isn't good. They don't have a running back, truthfully. I mean, Gallaham, I think he's balling out in Barkley's absence, but everyone else, the Rams, their defense is decent. I thought they were going to be good with Jalen Ramsey on the backside and Aaron Donald on the front side. Aaron Donald's a fucking monster. Best D lineman in the game. But, that's how it is. Now, SportsCenter posted this. Big shout out to SportsCenter. They posted this. Your top 10 rookies of the year, I guess, as of week 10. Oh, they have a full list. I didn't even see this. Oh, it only goes... It only went to 10 anyways. So, alright, cool. So we're going to go here. And I'm going to leave this up for about a couple more seconds. And I'm going to switch back over to myself. Alright. We're going to go here. And this is what I want to talk about for the next about 5-10 minutes. This list right here. We can leave it on this list. This list right here. Man, you got Chase Young at 5. You got Tristan, the O lineman for the Bucks, playing great football. Tom Brady feels comfortable with him. He said in an interview, so cool. But you got Gibson at 8. He really hasn't been that impressive. You got the Jets offensive tackle, who's been really good, at 9. You're missing at least 3 people. And you're disrespecting my man James Robinson on a very bad Jaguars team. So, you're missing at least 3 people on this list. And I don't think this list is correct. And I moved the camera so I can face this way. Chase Young is not the 5th best rookie in the NFL. It blows my mind that he came from Ohio State. They said he's going to be really good. Don't get me wrong. He's been okay. He missed some time with a groin injury. Yes and yes. But he hasn't impressed me. Like, day in, day out, the person on that team that's impressed me is the veteran Ryan Kerrigan, who has to come off the bench because they want Young on one side and Sweat on the other side. And Ryan Kerrigan just comes in and keeps getting it done. At the trade deadline, Ryan Kerrigan wanted out of Washington. He didn't get his wish, but this offseason he will. So let's do this. I'm going to give you... I don't want to say my top... I'm going to give you top 10, but my 1 through 6 is totally jacked up, crazy. My 10th best player right now, truthfully, just watching routes and everything, is CeeDee Lamb. And he's tied with his teammate on the other side, Trayvon Diggs. But Trayvon's out for the rest of the season with an ankle injury, I believe. So he's going to stay at 10. CeeDee Lamb would have a huge season if Dak Prescott was healthy. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. Hey, it is what it is. It's football. Stuff happens. T. Higgins for Cincinnati is my number 9. My number 9 best rookie right now, I guess you can say. I'm going to put Tristan. I'm going to put... oh my God. Beckham. And I'm going to put... Jedrick Wilson's with Williams with the Browns. Willis, sorry. As the number 8 with all three. Truthfully, all three. Number 7 is going to be Chase Young. I just don't see him doing anything really spectacular. Number 6, truthfully watching, Henry Ruggs has impressed me a lot when he's healthy. I don't think he's played in a couple games-ish. I don't know if I really want to put him at 6 because... or 7... 6 because I just don't see how really truthfully impressive he's been. But watching him and Derek Carr work gives that, with Josh Jacobs, gives that team the extra push they need to be better and playoff hopeful bound. Number 5 is Taloa. I think that's how you say it. And the only reason I put him at number 5, and he's only had 3 starts, their defense is really good. Miami's defense is really good. But he's looked like Justin Herbert looked like a pro quarterback. He hasn't made that many mistakes. He's kept the ball clean. Everything's been, handoff has been good. Short passes, long passes, any immediate passes have been good. So I think he needs to be in this discussion. Number 4 is James Robinson. He plays on the Jaguars, man. If they had a quarterback and one more wide receiver, I think that team would be 5-4 instead of 2-7. I'm not saying this because I don't like Gardner, and I think the kid that they're starting now is okay. But I think Gardner would have been fine too. They just don't. Out of Keenan Cole, I think that's, who else have they got? He's a stud too. He's gonna be he's a number 1 on them. I think he's number 2 on everywhere else, but number 1 on them. I mean, he can be number 1 other places too, like the Jets. But who wants to play for the Jets? Number 3 is Joe Burrow. I like this kid. I like him a lot. He truthfully is a quarterback of the future for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he has T. Higgins to be his wide receiver of the future. But he's shown signs of, he's a rookie. He's shown signs of not having OTAs, not having training camp. You can tell. That's why he's number 3. Number 2 is Justin Jefferson. God, man, this kid is a stud. This kid changed Minnesota's outlook on the Stephon Diggs trade. Because it took 2 days after the Stephon Diggs trade for people to stop talking about that trade. And then on draft night, boom! You couldn't think, truthfully, you couldn't think that Justin Jefferson was going to come in here and play and be a stud like he is. It's just unreal. Truthfully, to me, it's unreal. So, you got to understand that when you do that and you come in here and you just play like a stud, the expectations go higher and higher. You got a average quarterback, as everybody calls Kirk Cousins. You got a above average running back in Mr. Cook. And you got Adam Thielen, who is a top 15 wide receiver stats-wise in the past 3 years. So, and you just come in here and your route running's good. Your hands are good. So, yeah, you're number 2. And we're talking about, number 1 is Justin Herbert, but he's fortunate. God, man, this kid is good, too. Like, they're 2-7, I believe. And they really, really should be 5-4. God, they've had chances to win the past, 3 weeks in a row, 4 weeks in a row. And I just find it fascinating, man. Yeah, they're 2-7. Last 2 games lost. Let's go last. Holy crap! So week 2, when Herbert started his first game, they lost in overtime to Kansas City. Week 3, they lost by 5 to Carolina. Justin Herbert had 330 yards. They lost by a touchdown to Tampa. A touchdown. They took New Orleans to overtime and lost by a field goal. They beat Jacksonville by 10, obviously. They lost to Denver on a last-second touchdown or field goal, which I think it was that was the play where I think the Chargers caught it in the end zone, but he was already out of bounds. They lost by 5 to Vegas, and they should have won that game. And they lost to Miami, and they should have won that game. So now they play the Jets this week. Obviously, that's going to be a win. Then they go Buffalo. Maybe chalk that up a loss. They go to New England. They could win that. They go to Atlanta. They could win that. They go back to Las Vegas. They're going to lose that. But Justin Herbert has been impressive. That's why he's my Rookie of the Year right now. Like, right now. You don't have anybody that can really, truthfully say, hey, he's not the Rookie of the Year. I mean, you can give it to Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow started every game, and he's looked every bit of the first overall pick. Truthfully, yes. But I really think Justin Herbert has played equal, if not a little bit better, and one less start than Joe Burrow. And I think he's ahead in stats and all that, but I mean that's my take on it. Having Chase Young, I think they had him at 4. He hasn't done much to me. And I watch every Redskin game because obviously Fox is going to do local TV. So, I mean, that's where you're at. Oh, that's where my at. About Rookie of the Year. About the NFL heading into Week 11. I will say again, the hit on Drew Brees was clean by the 49ers. It shouldn't have got a flag. But that's the NFL these days. I appreciate everyone joining in and watching. Please leave a comment if you want me to talk about something. Leave a like on the page. Leave a like on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. And we're going to do more of these probably once a week, maybe twice a week. Football is the only thing on right now, so that's all we're going to really talk about. Guys, I appreciate it. Hit that like button, and I'll talk to y'all soon.